an honor to interview somebody who you will not believe. Don't believe me? Well, get a load of this. I'm here with Jeffrey Weissman. It's Weissman, right? Correctly?
Weissman.
Weissman, yes. And if you guys don't know who he is, I'll let you, Jeffrey, tell him who you are. I'll be like, you know.
No, that would be ruining it. I'm the answer to a trivia question.
Oh, okay. Well, this guy is known for playing George McFly in the Back to the Future 2 and 3 movies. And tell us how you landed that role.
Just lucky, I guess.
But I mean, like, you know, obviously I'm sure you had to do an audition for it, I'm sure. And I'm sure there was a few other people that that had an audition too. Like, tell us the process of how it all kind of happened.
I got a call from a friend of mine who is an agent for lookalikes.
Ah.
And he asked if I knew who Crispin Glover was. And I said, of course. I'd done a film with Crispin back in '84 at AFI with Dan O'Herlihy, and was fascinated with his work and really liked him and got his phone number and tried to stay in touch a little. And my agent friend asked if I thought that I was about the same height and size as Crispin. I said, no, he's bigger than I am, taller than I am. And I said, what's this for? And he said, well, I'm looking for a photo double for a film. I said, well, is that for the Back to the Future sequel? Of course, he said, I'm not at liberty to say. Hush-hush project. They didn't want to be charged a lot of extra money, and so on and so forth, so they wouldn't, they changed. In fact, the Back to the Future 2 and 3 scripts were called Paradox, so they didn't want people to know that it was the sequel, so they wouldn't be charged extra, knowing how much money that film made. You know, it was the original was the highest-grossing film of 1985.
Huh.
So, and a little bit of trivia that most people don't know, that to be continued at the end of the first film was a joke.
Ah. So
Bob Gale, they had never really intended there to be a sequel, but you know, the studio threw enough money at him 4 years later, whatever, to write the sequels and get everyone back at least as much as they could. So at any rate, my agent friend set up a meeting for me to meet with the assistant directors, and that went well. I had worked already. I co-starred in a film with Clint Eastwood. I had worked with Amy Heckerling on Johnny Dangerously with Michael Keaton. Louis Malle's film Crackers. A host of other films. Twilight Zone, I co-starred with John Lithgow on the airplane. And so they knew I could work on a set successfully, and so the next step, they paved the way for me to now go through casting, where I recreated the scene in the backyard where Marty and George are hanging the laundry from the first scene, from the first film, rather. And Fenton Feinberg, I guess, or was it, yeah, I think it was Mike Fenton was the casting director back then. Who's the casting director?
I don't remember.
It's 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
Anyway, that went well, and then they sent me to Ken Chase, who was the makeup designer on the first film, to do molds of my face and apply prosthetics. I wasn't told that I was up for being the role of George, but rather to be Crispin's photo double. And so they needed me to look like him, age 17, I figured, since they had scenes where I wasn't sure what they were going to, how they were going to be meeting me.
Sure.
And we did a screen test, makeup test, and Dean Cundy and Bob Zemeckis decided that it was going to work. And then the makeup artist actually told me, Crispin's out. They couldn't work out contract with him. And I was like, you must be joking. They can't do this film without him. And they did. And so I took over the role. The role was cut back considerably from the scripted version because they couldn't get the original George. But they still gave me, old George in the future. And then when they went back chasing Biff with the almanac, I got to knock Biff out and kiss Lorraine on the dance floor, all that good stuff again, which most people don't realize. A lot of people think that was Crispin, but the prosthetic makeup was good, although they kept me in the distance because the makeup wasn't great. I have a picture if you want to see that.
Sure.
Does this read?
Yeah. Oh, it's fine. Ah, yes. I can tell how they make it look like you almost look just like him, like a twin brother or something.
Yeah. So it was a really great experience being on the set with all those fantastically creative and fun people. Getting close for a short time with Michael J. Fox and Billy Zane and Leah and all the great crew members from the makeup folk, Mike Mills and Marvin Westmore and Nancy Vasta and Zoltan. And the list goes on. They're really fantastic, established, award-winning makeup artists to, of course, Bob Z's crew. Just a terrific set to work on. I mean, it was pretty high pressure, yet at the same time it was relaxed and very professional.
And that's kind of what you need, in an environment like that. A relaxed, calm environment.
Frankie, I can't hear you.
Okay. And that's what you need.
There you are.
I'm sorry if the mic's cutting out. But and that's kind of what you need in an environment like that. You kind of need, it to be calm and collective so that everything works out. But I was really surprised about that. They almost make you look like a twin brother. Like Crispin had a twin brother in that movie, That's really, really impressive.
Well, they sort of cornered themselves into having to have him, and he is, eccentric, and probably considered himself a little more important than they did. He had starred in several films, and he really was a vital part, I thought, of the first film, as well as I'm sure he did too. As well as I'm sure he at first wanted some things that they weren't willing to give over. I had heard rumors of the same money as Fox and script approval, and then coming down to $1 million, and Spielberg and company didn't really want to give him that. Though ultimately he got that, or close to that. He of course, filed suit because they made me up to look like him, and without really paying him, they were going to pay him, I think, a couple times scale for those couple shots that they used from the first film, those 2 close-ups or 3 close-ups. And he didn't feel that was fair, and in fact it was when the third film came out that he actually contacted me and got stories from me and engaged me by getting my sympathies by telling me horror stories of the way they treated him on the first film. So it was odd for me being sort of stuck in the middle on this. I had also had production sort of close down publicity that I was trying to generate for my own work. It was like pulling teeth to get photos from production, and a 10-city tour that I was going on to promote Universal Florida, where I was going to play Chaplin, Groucho, and promote my work as McFly. The plug mysteriously got pulled on the whole tour. It was a lot of odd things for me, but nonetheless, it was great being a part of the classics. That it's such a great series of films, and has held up over the last 25 years, 20 years for part 2 and part 3. It's just been fantastic, especially with the love of those films that I share, not only with my own family and myself, but also with the international fan base that there is. I have people write me every day from Russia and Israel and Germany and everywhere, wanting an autographed picture,
Well,
or just praising me. I just did a autograph show in England a few weeks back with James Tolkien and Mark McClure and Claudia Wells from those films, and we were very well received. We were mobbed. as well as you may know, the show we did recently in LA was like a cast reunion. We had maybe 20 to 30 members of cast and crew that came out for that, and that was very exciting. And Michael J. Fox showed up, and Chris Lloyd was there as well as Leah, and it was like a family reunion. It was very nice. I, of course, am probably the I don't know, bastard child or something. I know they were trying to get Crispin for that, and I don't know if what happened that made it so he couldn't come, and I know Billy Zane couldn't make it at the last minute.
Well,
but nonetheless, it was really great to be
part of it. That's cool. That and see, the thing about it, people love the film. I mean, it's almost like like the Star Wars. I mean, imagine how many Star Wars fans there are out there. Well, it's no different than Back to the Future, or no different than Ghostbusters or Batman or whatever. People love the films, and I'm a huge fan because it's always been one of my all-time favorite trilogies. Just the concept of going back in time or going forward in time. Even though obviously in reality we can't, but you never know. Maybe someday somebody will create something that could happen. Who knows? But who knows?
Yes, and we're only 6 years away from the years
2015
in the future that the film depicts, that Part 2 depicts, and a few other things have come to pass.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Do you think there'll ever be any flying cars at all, though, or hover?
Well, we've had flying cars since the 50s.
Okay. Well, you know what I mean, like in the movie, like really flying really high in the sky and whatnot, and Yeah,
well, if we can get the government off oil dependence and start experimenting with some of the technology that's out there, and I'm sure it'll come to pass. All we have to do is dream about it, and things come true.
Sure.
It's funny how life works.
So, what are you doing currently?
As much as I can. I've been working on a number of films. A month ago, I was in Oregon shooting an indie film called American Disciples. I just wrapped 2 days ago a film called Shadow Angel, and then a week before that, another film called 4 Cups of Joe. Another film in post right now that I'm in is called Burn Like Fire. So I try to keep busy in film work, and then I also do stage work. I'm artistic director of an improv troupe right now that's part of a Fringe festival that's going on here in September. And I also teach. I teach film writing, directing, and acting, as well as advanced acting and intermediate acting. And then I also teach improv and theater games to teenagers and adults.
Wow, so it seems like you're a very busy guy. That's why I'm glad I could get you what I could. That's why I'm glad I could get you what I could. I mean, it's kind of nice.
You've been asking me for a while now, and I'm glad this is working out.
Well, it's a thrill to actually get a chance. Well, I mean, obviously we're not meeting each other like in kind of real life, but I mean, doing this interactively through the computer, through Skype. But I mean, it's still kind of amazing that I could get a hold of you and whatnot.
This is the future. It's here.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And
in the scene in Part 2 where Marty Jr. comes in and starts naming the different channels he wants to look at, we got that now.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
That's an example of one of the things we didn't have when we shot the film.
As a guy who is big on acting and whatnot, is there anything that you're gonna be doing like that somebody would recognize like the next blockbuster or the next theater?
One or another of the indie films that I'm in will take off. I know Corked, which is a mockumentary a la Christopher Guest on the wine industry, in which I play an obsessive-compulsive winemaker in. That's getting a DVD release before the year's end. In fact, I just pre-ordered it on Netflix. That's kind of fun. It may also get a limited theatrical release. There's a handful of other projects out there that, knock on wood, will get picked up.
Sure.
And distributed. You can also see my work online. There's some very fun films, a little horror short that I did called We Missed You, Pete. That's online, and another one called Harold Bloom is About to Die. That's online. You can find the links to those at my website.
Okay.
JEFFREYWEISSMAN.com.
And then, of course, people, if they're wondering if you have a Facebook, that's how we met. Yeah, you can add him as a friend too. I'm sure he'll be happy to talk to any fans or friends or whatever.
Yeah, and if you fans out there want a photo, autographed, personalized, you can take a look on my website, JEFFREYWEISSMAN.com. There's a photo store page, and if I have them in stock, just pay a minimal fee, and I'll send it to you.
Cool.
Great holiday gift.
Yes, of course, with the holidays coming up real soon. Well, thank you. I want to personally thank you for being a part of this. You're the first celebrity to be on our collab channel, by the way, just so you know.
I'm not worthy.
So this is a thrill. The only other question that I have for you, just one last question, is what was it like working with Michael J. Fox on Back to the Future? That's the last question I have for you.
It was a great experience. He's a really great guy. He has a wonderful technique to watch. As an actor, it was it was fascinating. It was great to watch how he's honed his craft. He knew when he was being boring, or if he didn't have his relationship with the camera going on, or and it was amazing because during the shooting of the film, he was doing the last season of Family Ties during the day, and we'd have him all night. And I was like, Michael, when do you sleep? And he says, in the car on the way over. But he's a genuinely wonderful heart, and that comes out in his personality, and that's why so many have risen to the occasion to support his efforts with the Parkinson's research and his foundation. I know for every appearance I do for Back to the Future cast reunions or celebrity events, what have you, I raise money for the Parkinson's Foundation, and also promote Wendy Jo Sperber's cancer support
that's right.
center, WeSpark. And that comes out mainly because Wendy Jo was and still is so beloved, even though she's not with us anymore. She was so wonderful, and losing her just broke so many hearts, and the legacy that she left with this WeSpark is continuing to help so many people, and that's why I always take the time to connect with the WeSpark folk and try to raise money and get celebrities that they don't know about that play golf to do her golf tournament. Good stuff.
Well, that sounds good. Well, I want to first of all thank you for taking the time to do this. I know you're a busy guy, but it means a lot. I'm sure it will mean a lot to the subscribers of the 5 Awesome Studs. And that's pretty much about it. Is there anything else you got to say?
Good luck on getting those 2 more studs that you're looking for.
We're actually looking for 3 more. 3 more.
3 more studs.
Yes, 3 more. But you're always welcome to do a guest spot if you ever have the time. Again.
I've got a stud finder around here if you want. Put it up against the walls. And,
there you go.
It's my pleasure being here on 5
Awesome Studs.
Awesome Studs minus 3.
Well, I appreciate it. And like I say, is there any last thing you want to say to your fans out there? Anybody that would recognize you?
Visit me, JEFFREYWEISSMAN.com. There's tons of things to look at, and links to, like I say, films and fun sites, and keep up with my work on the news page. You never know what I'm up to. I hardly know from day to day myself. It's quite fun, and part of the excitement is the demand because of the Back to the Future fans, among other fans, from other projects I've worked on, taking me to places. I have an actual Back to the Future fan who's making a film who's asked me to do a cameo. It's going to take me back to New Jersey here pretty soon.
Oh, wow.
Which is really fun.
Well, that sounds good. Hopefully we'll be able to see the DVD or whatever when it comes out. Or whatever that will be.
Yeah, Corked. Corked. You can get updates on that at corkedthemovie.com. You can pre-order it on Netflix. I'm very proud of my work in that. That's a lot of fun. And as for these other films, American Disciples, Four Cups of Joe, and Shadow Angel, just keep posting. I'll just keep posting on my news page on my website as soon as I learn their status.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Jeffrey, and you have a great rest of the day.
Thanks a lot, Frankie. Be well.
Well, now that you've seen the interview, what do you think? Please leave comments down below to each of these videos as we're getting things ready for the Survivor event. As the Survivor event continues, I figure while we're waiting for the competition to progress anyway, while it progresses anyway, I figure this would be a good way to entertain everybody and bring our first celebrity to the channel. So now what do you think? Do you forgive me? I was saying about forgiveness. I just felt that this is my way to give back. Give back to all you subscribers, because like I said, I know there's true subscribers out there that love to be entertained, and that's why I did this. I did it for you. I didn't just do it for me just to say, oh, another interview off the list, but to do it to entertain all you guys. You guys subscribe to us to be entertained, and it's our job to entertain you guys. I might not be the most funniest, craziest guy you ever met, but I know when I see something good, I know when the time is right to be funny or to be creative, and this time was right. It's just perfect timing as we kick off a new season, a new fall season and whatnot, and just a way to get back. So, I'm Franky Slawson, and we'll see you for another great 5 awesome stud video somewhere down the future. And for all of you people who have been wondering, who have subscribed to my channel, Franky Slawson Show, I will be doing some videos soon for that channel. I've just been kind of wrapped up in this project for a little while, and there might be a few more on the way, but I will be doing more here as time moves on. Adios. And we'll see you somewhere in the future. Back in the future. Bye. Bye.
And you will just work through this as much as we can, and however it works out, it works.
And just make sure, John, that you just get a lot of Lance here.
I am.
Yeah,
man. Fill up the screen.
I'm right on the bottom screen here. He probably sees me on the bottom screen, but you're full screen on my side, and I'm probably full screen on your side, I bet you, huh? Oh, yeah. Okay. So, whenever we're ready, we can just start. Maybe I'll start right now, if you're ready.
No, really? Good by me.
Okay. Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another great Franky Slawson Show episode. But this is our season premiere for Season 3 of Franky Slawson Show on YouTube. And I was mentioning a while ago about getting a guest. And actually, if you guys remember my daily summer vlogs that I did, I actually aired an interview that I did with this guy who I'll be talking to right now here about 3 years ago. Actually, that's the last time that we actually chatted, as far as I remember correctly. We did that music... yeah, we did that music interview kind of, where we talked about your scores or whatever, people that you actually like for, you know, artists or whatever, you know. Anyway, the guy's name, Lance Warlock. There he is. Now he's on camera.
Hey, hi. John, I'm over here.
I got you.
Oh, he got you. I figure have him hold the camera. That way you don't see me hold the camera like I've done in previous interviews, and it's like, geez, the guy can't even afford a tripod.
Yeah, lucky you.
Apparently I can't either, so no worries.
So Lance, what the hell you been up to?
Yeah, getting through summer.
Yeah,
Has it been a long summer for you?
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy, but it's all starting to settle down and work into some good things.
Oh, okay.
Since it has been a while since we've spoke, I would definitely say things have started making some good headway.
Well, that's good. You know, you're making some serious cash anyway. That's always good. Especially the fact that you're doing it because you're doing something that you like anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think that's one of the things with anything. If somebody can get into something they like, and of course, if you can make some money at it too, then that's the bonus.
Oh yeah. I wish I could say the same thing with my YouTube stuff, but unfortunately, I don't have, you know, either my quality of video isn't good, or YouTube just, you know, wants people to be partners when they're like, you know, mega stars or whatever. When they pick you out, you know, in the tribe or whatever, to be the big YouTube star or whatever, you know.
Well, you know, I don't know what'll happen with this. We'll see. Maybe this will be the one to push things over the edge.
Well, yeah, man. You know, my second interview with a major, well, I could say major star, but
but that would be a lie.
Can I say major composer? Maybe would that be?
Well, let's just say that, yeah, that's what we're working for.
Well, anyway, if you guys don't know who Lance is, maybe one of these movies here will maybe ring a bell, maybe, you know?
I've seen those.
Yeah, have you seen them before? I don't know. Now, for you guys who are wondering which movie I'm talking about that he was in, just take a wild guess. This is the Halloween 2 and Halloween 3 double pack. I'm sure you've seen this on Amazon or eBay or wherever. It's a 2-pack. I could have bought them individually, but I just thought the 2-pack was better.
Better deal.
Yeah, it's doubling your money. I mean, it's an easier thing. I signed those, and then they sell on eBay for about $1.25. So I hope you didn't pay more than that.
Well, if you guys don't know which ones he was in, he was actually, if I'm saying this right, you were in both of these, weren't you?
Yeah.
And can you explain kind of your character in both of the films or whatever, just for people who still have no idea?
Should have been a reoccurring character, of course, because he did survive. But I guess the only one that's visually still noticeable is the Halloween 2. And that would have been, depending on how you want to credit it, it either would have been what they credit still as the teenage-carrying or radio-carrying teenager, but everybody's now dubbed me in the convention world as Boombox Boy.
But that's just a main character, man. You know, he should have been like the big headliner or something like that. The main guy, you know, who just, you know, he survives and he finds a way to make sure that Michael Myers doesn't kill him.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I think. Boombox Boy is one of the very few characters that I do believe that actually lived. And, of course, there's some fans out there that have, you know, been very insistent the importance of the character because that determined for Michael Myers where Laurie Strode was being taken. And then, hence, he goes to the hospital. So, pivotal scene, man, pivotal.
And you said that, I think a long time ago when we've chatted before, you said your brother was also in this one too?
Yeah, there's this scene, probably, I don't know, a little over halfway through, where the people of Haddonfield are basically trying to destroy the house of Michael Myers, and my brother's character and another kid run up to the cop and Loomis and say how their buddy's missing. And, of course, that's Ben Tramer, who has just gotten run over by the cop and exploded onto the van. And so, yeah, between Dad and brother and I, it's kind of humorous that we all three are in there. In fact, again, I had a very good friend of mine meet my brother once, and my brother claiming that he forgot he was ever in Halloween 2. So let's not let that out.
Yeah, no kidding, no kidding. How could you forget that you were in, like, a major film? Jeez.
You know, I guess there's been many. I don't know. So now, and then to finish on that one, Halloween 3 was really absolutely nothing. It was the very, very beginning of the film where the old man, Harry Grimbridge, was running into a auto body or an auto junkyard, running away from what they were calling the gray suits, which happened to be the robots, because, of course, 3 had no Michael Myers character.
Yeah. And
all they really had me do was double one of the gray suits in a car. It was late at night. They didn't want to pay the actor money to literally just sit there in a car. So they threw me in, and of course my dad was the lead gray suit who actually was driving the car. So yeah, we each had two scenes, well, a scene together in each one of the films. But, you know, I don't know that anybody would even recognize the whole Halloween 3 thing.
Maybe they'd have to buy it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, and then get really, really close and hope the clarity's much better.
I mean, who knows? I mean, that could be the answer to everything Blu-ray nowadays, you know? If you want to go into detail upon detail, but...
Well, you know what I just saw, speaking of the Blu-rays, the whole Back to the Future thing, I mean, with that being released on Blu-ray, so I think it'll be a very cool thing. I mean, I know that a lot of the fans have talked about wanting to see a Halloween 2 version with the special features, and I still have no clue where that's sitting. I know that Universal's the one that produced the film, and I don't know if they're going to hold the rights and ever put out something with either a producer's cut or the special features like a lot of the other ones have.
Sure. With the talk about being in the Halloween movies now, what of all the ones that have been out, you included the new ones. So I actually happen to own, I don't know if you own all the whole sets, but I actually own every Halloween movie that ever came out, pretty much. The whole, even the stuff with Jamie Lee Curtis in the later days or whatever, in the Halloween 2.0 or something, H2O, I think, Resurrection or something like that. Yeah, and I even got the Rob Zombie ones as well. Which one can you say is your all-time favorite?
Well, the original.
Okay.
I'm always been convinced that I was bummed that they tried to do any kind of re-imaging, remake, however you want to call it. I remember hoping that Rob was going to be the guy to do it right, But I think truly if I sat down and had to sit down and watch them all, I still think number one. As almost cheesy and innocent as it still is because it's so old, it has something that a lot of them just didn't quite measure up to. I mean, I don't even really like part 2.
Of the original or of the remake?
Either, but mostly the original. It's kind of like, I don't know, I felt it wasn't the same. It didn't have the same quality that the first one did. I don't know.
Well, what about the music? Because, you know, music is what always makes films sound better. Do you think the music was better?
Man, I love Frankie. I got to tell you, obviously, my partner and I both absolutely love Tyler Bates. So the stuff that Tyler Bates did for the Rob Zombie films is very cool. I mean, Alan Howarth did a great job in taking what John did for one and taking it and running all the way through all of them. Of course, when you talk to John Ottman, who did Halloween H2O, he just said they butchered it. I mean, he gave him one score, and what actually ended up in the film was so chopped up and so cut up, he could not really release an H2O soundtrack. He had to put it on a CD, and I believe he called it something about terror, where he just had to use clips and cuts. So I don't know. I mean, well, I'm a big fan of John Ottman and Tyler Bates. So the Carpenter, I mean, come on. How can anybody argue with what he did with that theme? Everybody knows it still.
Oh, of course. Because people recognize with it. They always agree that, you know, the original will always be better than what's come out now. Do you agree that there's too many remakes on films?
You mean as a whole? Or
yeah, just as a film, not just a horror genre, but like all films that come out nowadays that are remakes. Do you think there's like too many of them, or do you think that they should make more of them, or?
You know, I guess what I don't understand is why they're resorting to just coming up with remakes. I mean, I get it. I think what's great is, in one respect, it brings in another generation of people. It introduces them to the next, you know, oh, I had no idea that this was a film. I mean, oddly enough, as much as I've been into horror films my whole entire life, I saw the Texas Chainsaw remake before I ever saw the Texas Chainsaw original. And I will not lie, I was a huge fan of the remake. I mean, The director is phenomenal. I think that Andrew played a very scary Leatherface, and I'm not going to lie, Jessica Biel, you know, looks pretty good in it. So from that, and again, here we go again, Stephen Jablonsky did amazing music for that I'm a huge fan of him. So when I think of it, I go, yeah, some of them, maybe. But, you know, it's like if I said to you, so they were going to remake Back to the Future. And you go, they just can't. There's certain limitations that I don't understand. But on the flip side, I go, it's an industry. It's called the entertainment business. And therefore, if they see something that's worth making a few bucks on, and again, bringing it to a new generation, then the more power to them.
Good.
As far as all the horror, let me now remake the sequel, the part 3, because of course they're doing Halloween 3, and at first I had heard they were something to do with 3D, and I'm kind of going, wow, but there's a market for it. They wouldn't do it if they couldn't make money. So I get it.
So okay, so they're gonna make a Halloween 3. But are they just gonna have like an original idea for it, or are they gonna actually have Michael Myers be like the main character, or are they gonna like do it all over again like they did in the season of the witch and have it be no idea, or you know, same, you know what I mean, you know?
Yes, I do, and that's what I don't know yet, because I know that they did. It was deemed Halloween 3D for a while, and now I'm not seeing that title attached to it. So I don't know if they're going to cop the Season of the Witch theory or what, because I thought that they also had included some information saying that story was partial written by Rob Zombie. Even though it's not Rob Zombie who's doing it, I think it's, the last name escapes me. His first name is Patrick. He did My Bloody Valentine 3D.
Okay.
He's the guy directing it. So in a way, I'm starting to kind of think, I don't understand why they're going to keep going. I mean, are they going to remake Jaws? I mean, come on, there's some great movies out there that they shouldn't really touch. And some of the fans I've talked to were of the same theory, and some said, you know, whatever. You know, I don't know. I hate to be too opinionated when it comes to that, because, I mean, everybody's going to have their own decision of, well, did Rob Zombie do right? Did he do wrong? You know, Rob Zombie gets into the psyche of people. I mean, to me, Devil's Rejects was one of the creepiest movies, because to me, I believed that those 3 lunatics really exist. You know, you're not going to see somebody in a William Shatner mask and a butcher knife hacking people up.
Of course not. Of course, that'd be too creepy.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, I don't know. And from what I've been kind of reading, I think that they've also taken the new. I know that they're slated to do another Nightmare on Elm Street and another Friday the 13th, but I think the Friday the 13th has been taken off as of right now. So I don't even know. I guess I get confused on why they're going to actually redo sequels. I mean, how far into these franchises are they going to go, considering the franchises have way too many sequels to begin with?
Yeah, that's another thing that I was going to say. I actually currently all the Friday the 13th and the Freddy ones as well. And yeah, I mean, it's like, how many do they need? I mean, it's like, why couldn't they go and just come up with an original idea for like a new bad guy of today that would be just as cool, just as bad as Freddy Krueger or Jason or Michael Myers?
Dracula.
Yeah, I kind of agree with all the technology and all the ability, and people are getting more whacked out there. You'd think somebody could base a new character off of somebody like that. I mean, you know, give me a movie about Jeffrey Dahmer. I mean, he was pretty screwed up.
Oh, heck yeah, I mean, or you know,
16 minutes.
Or let's see, there's other ones too. Like they haven't even touched like the Pinhead stuff or the Pumpkinhead. You know, they haven't really done much with that.
They haven't did Scream in a long
Why
time,
don't they? If they're gonna bring back like a character, why do they have to bring back a mainstream one? Why don't they bring back Leprechaun or something? You know?
Hey,
I don't know.
Scary.
I mean, that's a good question. I was thinking that there was a Hellraiser something that was in the works, but you know, on some of those, I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's based on money. I don't know. Popularity. I mean, I know the internet has obviously gained a lot of popularity for some of these new franchises. I mean, the Halloween franchise with its HalloweenMovies.com You know, I mean, I've been told through multiple people of how successful that site is, and it's all because of the fans.
Oh,
And
yeah.
these fans, they're so diehard. It's pretty dang cool.
Well, people know what they like, and that's why we have horror conventions, which, yeah, I've never been to any. Comic-Con and all that stuff, you know, I mean, all these conventions of fans of people that like what they like. You know, the sad thing about where I live here is, like, we have conventions, but we have tractor conventions.
Hey, I'm a redneck.
Understood.
I mean, who wants to go to a fucking tractor convention and learn about John Deere? I mean, I think I know what I need to know about that.
Yeah, he cuts grass.
I mean, he smokes a little too. I don't know, but
Yeah, I mean, you know, gets on the riding lawnmower and makes artwork. I don't know.
But I mean, I would always say how cool it would be. Have you ever been to like the San Diego Comic-Con at all? Comic-Con at all? Or at all? Because I know you've been to the other ones, but not the.
Yeah. No, I haven't done any Comic-Cons. I've been told that the Comic-Cons are an absolute blast.
Yeah.
Part of it on that one is, I mean, the character of Boombox Boy was not big enough, you know, to warrant going out, you know, 2-3 times a year even and doing some of these. I mean, like Danielle Harris, I mean, she's constantly sought after to do conventions. And I mean, some of these people are doing 2 and 3 a month because there's that many out there. I mean, personally, I'd love to do more because, again, meeting the people is what the blast is. It's not, you know, sitting down and constantly signing stuff, or better yet, when I'm sitting there, I'm always next to my dad, so more I'm watching him sign everything. And it's just like, you know, I don't know. It's just, I think that the people are what becomes the coolest part about that. It's after the convention doors are closed and everybody goes out and they're hanging out, and that's when it's really fun. When you really kind of get to know these people personally. I still keep in touch with a handful of them.
But I mean, like, could you do like go to a convention with you and Leon, and like, you know, kind of present your stuff? Like, if people would know you as a Boombox Boy, but like say, hey, wait a minute, there's another side to Lance that we don't know. You and Leon go down to Comic-Con or wherever, and you know, represent yourselves, you know, for your company.
As far as that goes, I mean, that's a great idea, and that is something that we certainly could do. I've had a few people to where recently, because we've worked on projects that have now been involved in both film festivals, and then they're kind of doing film festivals that are coinciding with conventions, our stuff is being showcased at these, and then of course directors and producers that did these films are talking about it. We just have not decided to be there with them, so to say. But as things start picking up, which they are, maybe that's going to be the next step. Because, I mean, it's always good to meet these people face to face.
Do you think that if you guys ever had the opportunity to make like the next big blockbuster or to score the whole thing or whatever, then that'd probably increase your chances to actually do stuff like that? Or
yeah, I mean, I think now from some of the agents that I've talked to, I mean, it would be no problem in attending the functions. It's just trying to feel like, you know, we have something to bring to the table. And, you know, I think it's always worth it because promotion is the key to everything. But at the same token, you know, I think we'd be a little bit selective so that we'd fit into the right style. Comic-Con, for instance, may be a little bit too off the beaten path for us. If it was like a horror thing, you know, maybe. You know, just because of some of the stuff we've done recently. And of course, we're branching away from that being our staple signature musical, you know, journey. So, I mean, we'll see. The doors are always open. Let's put it that way.
well, that's cool. You know, that'd be kind of fun to say if I actually had a chance to go to one of these conventions and I'd actually finally get a chance to meet you in person instead of on video. But this is better than radio because we got video. We got visual now, you know.
Exactly. Scary, but yeah, it is true.
That's what I like about Skype. I mean, it's such a great thing. I mean, to do this, and I've done this once before. I don't know if you seen my interview that I did with Jeffrey Weissman at all.
No, but why do? Okay, and I hope I don't feel stupid here. Who exactly is he?
He was a guy who played the other George McFly in Back to the Future. Part 2 and 3.
Okay.
He wasn't the popular one. I mean, Crispin Glover, more people know who he is because he's done a lot more. Jeffrey Weissman's been more like a character actor, more or less. But he kind of got his big break in Part 2 and Part 3.
Okay, which of course I own because the trilogy is fantastic. And having Skype be like this, I mean, this is the coolest thing to now bring to the table, which is why we jumped on and figured we better step up and have this ability. I mean, you're the one within the last month, if not longer, said, why don't you guys get set up so we could do this?
Well, I mean, I didn't want to sound like I was being annoying about it. I just thought it'd be kind of cool for us to do something visually, rather, it'd be great to do something in person, but to do something visually, just, so people know that, you are for real, I am talking to you, this is a live conversation, rather than saying, huh, who could that be on the telephone, could that actually be Lance's voice or whatever?
Yeah, or it could be anybody. I mean, I know I'll show you these pictures that are sitting behind me, and you probably can't even tell from those how much, what, is this guy even for real or what?
But when we come back in our second half, because we're almost right out of time with my camera for here, we'll take a quick break or whatever, and then you'll show us a little tour of your place. And I don't know if you have, you said your studio is actually at your home too, like, where you have your instruments and everything, or is that just kind of...
No, it's kind of like how Leon and I do this is because music can be so self-contained anymore inside of keyboards, computers, and software, is we each have our own project studios assembled in each one of our houses. That way we're constantly working together. Everything is done via online and our server, but then we actually have a production location where we go, and now if we're bringing in larger groups, smaller groups, any kind of instrumentation, we have a separate place where we can actually do all the recording for that. So realistically, it depends on what we're doing, what kind of budget we're dealing with, and what the needs of the people we're working for are as to where we're going to actually do the work. But either way, we have to be constantly working, so I'll be able to kind of tip you around and show you the studio that I've built here and introduce you to the most fabulous Leon Bradford.
And that should be very exciting. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm hoping all the people that are watching, I hope people that are watching and look forward to it too, because Lance is not just by himself. He has a partner in crime here, Leon Bradford, which is cool, rather than do it by yourself. Because I know you had one partner before. I don't know what happened to Jonathan or whatever.
Fired. You know what it was? It was just going a different direction, and the bottom line is, after some time frame of everything that needed to be revamped, which Leon and I have been friends for a very long time, it was supposed to be this incarnation right now of Warlock and Bradford, and ever since him and I have teamed up and started this, now the things are starting to pick up and go somewhere.
Oh, cool. Well, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll introduce...
What's up, Don?
What's up?
We'll get introduced to him anyway, to Leon, and have you guys show us a tour of your place, because that should be very exciting.
Oh, very exciting, especially in the dark.
It's like, I feel like we're like in another Halloween movie or something, just because of all your pictures and everything. But that should be fun. Because you're just like me. You're just like me. You like to collect, and I like to collect too. So I mean, it's just if you watch my videos on YouTube, you know that I'm all about the retro.
Well, and I hope you'll be able to see what I do have up as of now. So it'll be fun.
All right, we'll take a break, and we'll be right back here on Franky Slawson Show channel on YouTube.com.
Convention. See, I don't know how well you can see it. I can tell, but
yeah, I can see like where the lamp is and whatnot. I can see all the pictures. Not really clear, but I can really see them. I can see all of them.
Zoom in.
But the other, yeah.
You can.
Yeah, I mean, it looks okay. You just have to describe what we're looking at. If we, you don't have to say all the pictures, but kind of, you know what I mean. Just kind of go through whichever ones you like the most or whatever.
Chubbs, go lay down.
I like any of them.
Yeah, of course you do. Jeez, what was I thinking?
Shocking, I'm gonna put Chubbs
I just hang them up because I got nothing better to do, and my wife says they won't go upstairs. You keep those downstairs where all the freaks show up.
Yeah,
Not a freak.
all the freaks. Yeah, I get that too with a lot of my collection because it's like, you know, a lot of people think it's nuts for me to, you know, to spend money on stuff that other people's junk, more or less. But it's like, hey, that's what I love about eBay, you know.
Yeah. I agree. And luckily, I think I get lucky enough sometimes to where, you know, we'll swap photos at conventions, and that's another fun reason to do them. You know, is because you know, we might get away with not always having to pay for everything. However, this guy right here, you probably can see who that is.
Yeah, we can on this.
Yeah, I can see a little bit. Is that, who is that? Okay, I can't tell by who. Oh, Wes Craven. Okay.
Yeah. Well, he made me pay for that. Let's establish that right now.
Okay. Yeah, just
you tell me when you want to roll.
Yeah, we're rolling right now.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I thought I heard you.
Like this.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Who are they?
Laverne and Shirley.
Nice.
There you go. That looks like
Jeepers Creepers.
You got it.
Beat ya.
Of course. Oh yeah. There we go. Of course.
Oh yeah.
Windbreaker.
Oh yeah. I know who that is. Why I don't know who it is, but I know what stuff he was in anyway.
Austin Powers.
Richard Keel, Jaws.
Yeah. Ah, the Friday
the 13th.
Sean Cunningham, Friday the 13th.
Okay.
Nice.
And then, you know, I mean,
Yeah,
Wes, good guy. Pamela Susan Shue, Halloween 2. Oh, for all you hardcore fanatics, that's the hot tub scene nurse.
Yeah. Chickawawa, right?
Wookie.
Yeah, there's Chickawawa right there.
Wookie.
Chewy.
Yep.
Had a fan make me one of these. I don't recall what the material is. It's a real shiny, something real neat.
Okay, yeah, that looks nice.
You know, and then of course I've got my own collection of the, you know, Jim Winburn, Michael Myers from part of Halloween 1. Here, let me make sure I'm not crooked on you. Okay. And then of course this guy, otherwise known as Wick Dorlock, Halloween 2. Ryder took that picture.
Okay.
You know, I got a little Tom Morga here from Halloween 4. You know, again, just stuff with Dad and Jamie Lee Curtis. Kind of like, you know, things like that. Is that pretty distinguishable that you can see?
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, that looks really good.
There we go. Leon is the light guy for right now.
Oh, that's fine.
Mike Myers.
Of course, George Wilbur, which was 4 and 6. You know, and then it was fun to meet Nancy, who's obviously Annie Brackett. Except she drew all over. I didn't understand her whole thing about drawing on my pumpkin.
She drew a bubble for you.
She did. I think that's one of my favorite pictures of Dad, but I know that I think he's out of that 8x10.
Oh, okay.
It's just kind of a cool side shot. Meeting Adrian, taking the photo from Escape from New York, because obviously Dad doubled Kurt Russell.
Oh, yeah.
Not only that one, but many more. Pamela again. That's a good one.
You like Pamela, huh?
She's hot.
Well, she's just a sweetheart. We're good friends.
Oh, that's good.
That's my son in Wizard of Oz.
Oh, okay.
We'll bypass some of this goofiness. So now Leon's out of court, so we're out of light. So as we travel into the actual production studio, one of the things to mention would be when we were touching a little bit on the subject of remakes. You know, there's definitely the own opinions of, you know, did so-and-so do a great job? Was this a quality movie? Blah, 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 blah. But here's the truth. I mean, regardless of what anybody, I think, would think personally, we as Warlock and Bradford would absolutely love to do any remakes that come along.
Oh, heck yeah.
Obviously, due to our age and experience, the music collection has grown tremendously. And I mean, I'd love to do the new Child's Play. I'd love to do another Jeepers Creepers. I mean, you know, it would be fantastic to get, you know, the next Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, just because they're legendary franchises doesn't mean that Leon or I would say, oh, no, we can't do that. That's ridiculous. It's like, no, please call. We would love to do it. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you.
Let me see. This is a good one, but I don't know how well you can see that.
I can see it. I just can't really see the writing, but I can see the picture.
Here, let me see that.
Which is fine.
That's Miss Linda Blair.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The Exorcist.
Oh, Jesus.
There it is.
Who loves pea soup, you know? That's
You
what
see
she
it's
likes.
just all bright.
And then, of course, you've got Don Shanks as Michael Myers in Part 5.
Okay.
Who is probably the most buff Michael Myers in existence. The guy's scary.
You without the mask.
Yeah, I know, huh? I don't know. So, you know, I guess that's just me wearing the, on the set that night of Halloween 2, they had just put out the I Love John Carpenter's Escape from New York t-shirts, and since that film had just come out, and he had stepped in for those 3 days of reshooting, you know, I was able to snag some of that stuff. This one's probably very hard to see, which is Dad as one of the gray suits in Halloween 3.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Is he the one in the middle, or which one is he?
Yeah, actually he is.
I don't know how I was able to tell that, but it just kind of looked, you know, because I know what your dad looks like and all that, and I can tell a little bit anyway.
Well, then you've got, there's at least a little bit, you know, there's the Halloween, there's Boombox Boy.
Yeah, I still got your autograph picture of that you sent me a long time ago of you wearing the. It's you wearing the suit, but it's just with you and your dad. Not that one, but it's like just one you wearing the cowboy suit, but your dad with you the mask.
And he's
And you have
your
the-
mask.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, I got that. That'll be coming up. I've seen this one out on the internet quite a bit. I don't know where it snuck out from, but obviously just Tim and I. We've got this scary guy as his hand is starting to protrude and get really gross. Now, this has to be one of the legendary of all time.
Hawaii
The
Five-0.
original $6 million man, Mr. Lee Majors.
Oh, not Hawaii Five. Oh, he looks like the guy from Hawaii Five-0. Is he the same guy?
No.
No. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't remember who that guy was.
Yeah, school.
There's the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, you said that's the one you autographed for me and wrote that cool little message.
That's usually the one that everybody kind of likes. Yeah, we'll just.
Well, it's a nice photo. Yeah.
We'll just leave this one blank,
Okay.
and I'll just say this. Let me get a pretty squared up shot for you, which I'm having a hell of a time doing. I'm one of the guys in the photo.
Oh, really?
The one in the back.
Yes. Nope, let's just move right along.
Oh,
Wait, was that right?
Oh, hold on here. What, were you like in a musical band or something, or what?
Yeah. Yes.
What band?
That's me and Dad and John Carpenter.
Okay, yeah, I can see it.
That's kind of another one that has snuck out of Dad and I.
Yeah, I don't know how that would happen, but yeah, the internet's tricky.
Wasn't
People can
me.
do it, you know.
It is kind of scary. Hey, how about this one for you?
Mark Mindy. Nano.
That's exactly what he says right there.
Oh. Yeah.
Then again, Dad and John Carpenter and myself.
And I love you, Lance, forever. Whoever wrote that for you.
Sorry, Sean.
Yeah, that's John Carpenter.
Okay.
Yeah, the drumstick.
Yeah.
I don't know. My wife.
Oh. Well.
That's of course that's Brad Lurie from Resurrection.
Okay.
What's that movie about?
I have most of these guys. I think the only one I never ended up getting was Chris from H2O. And
Okay.
of course, the original Swamp Thing, Dick Durock.
Ah, yes.
Which now, since all of this, Dick has passed away. I knew Dick growing up as I was a kid. So, you know, to see him get lost was one of my dad's very dearest stuntman friends. Can you see this too closely?
No, we can see it fine. Even the little baseball bat or drumstick that looks like on top.
Yes, that's John showing Boombox Boy what in the world to do.
Oh, it's like you need instruction to carry the boombox.
Wouldn't let me just do it on my own. He said, "This is gonna do it, punk." That's Miss Danielle Harris in there.
Okay.
We'll skip that one.
Go back.
No, it's a,
What
which one's that one? Okay.
What is
The
that?
original Spider-Man was Freddie Wah.
Oh.
Okay.
To my girlfriend Lance.
Ah. Girlfriend Liz.
Friend Lance. You know that guy?
Leatherhead.
Yeah, that's Leatherhead. what John said. I know.
And then, of course, the legendary Michael Berryman.
Oh yeah, the guy from Weird Science. I remember. And These Hills Have Eyes. You know?
Yes, well, in the Motley Crue video, Smoking in the Boys' Room.
Yeah! Wait, I don't do that.
I can see our reflection. You know, I can see us. And,
All right. How about those? Okay? Or
yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah. Wow, you got a lot of pictures.
Well, those just kind of sit on the wall in between.
Oof.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we'll move over there because we've got some of the production gear. Kind of move into a few things on this side.
Oh wow.
Zoom in.
And of course, every good studio has a photo of this guy.
Oh yeah, Henry Winkler, the Fonz. Hey.
Hey.
Nice. Oh, and of course, now that he's been, you know, I guess not convicted, Mr. Robert Blake.
Yeah, there you go.
Got it.
So,
13 minutes.
I mean, that's, you know, a lot of what I've got is just stuff to that effect.
Okay.
In and among the actual
I see
place where
you.
we sit down and.
I like all your monitors. You got a lot of monitors kind of surrounding. That's pretty cool.
We're going to lead to the monitors, but Leon suggested I forgot these right here.
Oh. Oh yes.
Freddy Cougar.
Now,
And Leatherhead.
basically, it's like,
Leatherhead. Freddy Cougar.
you know, I've got that's Gunnar Hansen, so the original, and then with Robert Englund, which I absolutely love the Robert Englund because it says to Lance, die slow.
That's
And then
good.
we move over because, you know,
Oh yeah.
there's
Like my.
the figure guys, which then we go with Kane Hodder and, again, Michael Myers Part 2.
Sure.
Are
Wow.
those very clear?
Yeah, we can see them pretty good.
Yeah.
And then one of the favorites on my end is probably
I can see perfect.
that guy there, which is the color version of Dad in the Cage in Jaws 1,
Okay.
which goes with this little beauty here,
Oh yeah.
which is an actual tooth from Bruce
Jaws.
the Shark.
Yeah, you were mentioning to me about that when we did the interview here back 3 years ago, and I remember that.
Yeah, I don't know how many people have those or if they've been fabricated through the years, but I was able to snag one of those and hang on to it.
Huh.
From, my God, well, it must have been 74, 75. I mean, it was whenever, it was before the movie came out, because I went to see The Shark, and it was basically when they were, I didn't see them filming, but it was when they were doing the cage scene, because it was in a tank in Southern California, and so my dad said, well, let's steal one of the teeth. So we did.
Oh wow.
And I still have it, so, you know, it's all good as far as that goes.
Oh sure.
Mhm.
So, and then from here on, we should probably,
Yeah. Hey.
What's up, man?
Finally!
Yeah.
Here he is!
The white Barry White, or the white version of Barry White.
Exactly!
Or the chubby,
we'll just-
or maybe the chubbier version of Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead. I don't know.
Want me to punch him for you?
Just kidding.
Which one?
The Lemmy Kilmister, Motorhead. He kind of looks just like him, kind of.
Lemmy. You look like Lemmy?
Yeah, I've been
The Ace of Spades!
Yeah, well, we got about a good 12 minutes left. We can. We got about 12.
10.
Actually, before Leon started doing music, he used to stunt double Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah.
You know, now we just have decided that we need to hang a little bit behind the scenes. It's just too much work and effort. Now we like to sit for a living.
Oh, hey, that's nothing wrong with that, you know.
Oh.
But they got wheelchairs for people like that.
Yeah, you.
I'm
That's
just,
fine.
yeah. Or rascal scooters or whatever. So.
Oh, I love that. That's a little bit of kind of like the work, you know, partial of the workstation.
Okay.
Right now.
So
Doing
like.
our update.
So, like, with your partner, Leon, I mean, has he done anything, you know, in the acting world before he met you, or what?
Was he an actor, you mean?
Or anything?
in a band called Motorhead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah! Woo!
I don't know if you heard of that band before.
No, never. I don't know. Is that a gospel band or whatever?
Right, I was their manager, and so then I just said, well, me and you need to go and do something that's a little less stressful.
Well, I mean, but I mean, like, have you, Leon, done anything, like, you know, prior to meet Lance? I mean, like something huge or whatever before you guys got together? Or?
Yeah, beat you up.
I met Lance on the street corner. He was selling himself out there.
Oh, wow.
I was like, hey, you and I should start a business. I haven't really done anything on the scale of him. I'm still trying to find my way in the industry, but I have been in the industry for a very long time.
Okay.
I used to own recording studios, or I had a couple of them, and then technology businesses and stuff like that. But I've been playing all my life. So.
But you guys work pretty good together as a team, though.
Yeah, as long as Lance does what I say, we're cool.
Yeah. Hence the reason why we're here at my facility doing the updates,
Fixing his
so
computer.
that I don't screw it up.
Well, I mean, you were saying, Lance, like that you guys have known each other a long time. I mean, how long have you guys, like, how did you guys hook up? I mean, like, where did it all start, kind of?
Well, okay, here's the honest truth. I mean, we've been acquaintances and friends for a long time, and then I started dabbling in this side of you know, the business, hoping to, you know, I guess create a name for myself, and came across a project one time that I said, you know what, I need help. Bottom line is I want somebody to be brought in on this that I can count on. And approached Leon and knew damn well that he had a very strong interest in this, doing film scores just to the bigger level than I was even thinking. And so I think due to the fact of knowing each other and knowing the abilities, he has brought not only, I mean, the musical side, it's like two sides of the story here, because there's the technology side that we absolutely have to. Oh, yeah. The world's biggest BSer. I like coffee mug.
Cheers to that. Cheers.
Well, I don't got no mug. Whoops.
When you do what we do, part of it is, you know, obviously music is first and foremost. And if you can't write a piece of music to get outside of a paper bag, then you need to bring in a good partner, which is why I had to bring in Leon. And then the other half is technology. And in his understanding of technology, it's dumbfounding. I mean, this guy should be bigger and badder than he is. Well, we will be there soon.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
It's the perfect situation. That's why we both have our own project studios. I mean, try and imagine having one setup, but two people are kind of fighting over, well, I have this idea, let me do this, and he'll work on a piece of music and upload it to the server, and I'll drop it into the project, and I'll be blown away, and I'll text him and go, dude, you don't need to change anything, and then I'll send him a piece of music and text him, and he'll say, dude, I need to fix that. Because now, I mean, the ability for us to establish working relationships with anybody in the industry means we can go anywhere in the world and do obvious video conferencing. I mean, look at what we're doing here.
Yeah.
And the ability of physically needing to live in a place like Los Angeles anymore isn't necessarily as required as I think it was, 5-10 years ago. It's advantageous for us to be there,
sure,
and to be able to have a facial presence, if you will, with people. But I mean, this summer we signed with Kevin Pike at the Film Tricks Agency in North Hollywood. So now it's like we have our agent having the face for us, based right out of Los Angeles, and we just need to shut up and do the music.
Oh, that's cool.
So I mean, really, it's the perfect blend of two people that. I mean, both Leon and I have had other ventures in the music business before. We've had other partners, and I think that I'll speak for the both of us in saying that neither one of us had worked better as a team than we've been at this now. I don't know, a couple of years, easily. A little over. Yeah, and it's like it just keeps snowballing into bigger and better things. And of course, we should be able to do things quicker. We had always questioned the fact that, hypothetically speaking, we were to be approached with two projects at the same time. We now could probably split that up kind of easily. I mean, it seems like when you deal with composers or you look at the movie credits, you don't see a lot of two people. You see a lot of one. And I guess, I mean, it's hard to have, well, I like what you did, but. And sometimes, I think it takes the right egos and the right personalities to be able to accept the fact that I didn't get criticized, but I got a great suggestion that I should have thought of.
Sure. Well, I agree. I mean, like, a lot of people I don't think pay much attention to the credits anymore. Once the movie's done, they just disappear. They just leave. They're like, oh, we don't want to see the ending credits or whatever.
Yeah,
so it's like, I don't know. It's strange why nobody would want to sit through that, but because that's what the music does best.
Growing up with my dad, I mean, the stunt guys were always like last in the credits, and I always stuck around looking to see who's doing what, who was in it, which stunt guy I knew from hanging out at the office with my dad, and of course a lot of the post-production, which is composing music, all of that is at the end. I mean, they tell you who does the music in the title credit, but I'm always curious to know more. It's like the old days, since well, I'll speak for myself. I'm the oldest one sitting in this conference today.
Oh, yeah.
By far. By far. I used to read all the record liner notes, man. I wanted to know all the detail. Who did they thank and why?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the same thing as the movie credits. I mean, now I can download a song off of iTunes and I could care less who's playing drums on it, versus before I had to know who was doing what and to then establish the fact of, what? It's the same guy who's been playing on all these records or, always scoring all these films. I mean, and so now we pay attention because, if you will, it's in our best interest to know who our competition is.
Well, that kind of sums it up. We're almost out of time. We got 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes left. That's good.
2 minutes left now.
About 2 minutes left anyway. Well, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to do this with me, because this is really cool. The fact that I got to know you here back in 2006. When we first did the interview and all that stuff.
Is that when it was? Is that the first one?
Yeah, I think it was like sometime. Had been either probably the summertime or fall of 2006. I don't remember, but I do know that the one that we did, the latest one besides this one, was in July of 2007, and that was pretty much my last big thing besides interviewing Eric Bischoff and Jeffrey Weissman. Now you again. So
well, we'll get Strider on this.
Oh, I hope so. That'd be awesome because I know when I interviewed him, he had a lot of stories as well, you know, from his career and even now. You know, I mean, I see him on Facebook, but you know, updated his photos and all that stuff. But it's like, man, you know, it's nice. I like hearing people's stories from what they've done, you know, in their career thus far, you know. So, yeah.
Well, and the stories can keep going. I mean, sometimes there's that passion that comes through, and you know, it's hard to shut people up. I mean, we sum it up by saying if anybody's ever interested, the best way to find us is warlockandbradford.com.
Warlock and Bradford, and then you guys are on Facebook too, right? Obviously.
Facebook, but here's the catch. This is and I'll make it extremely short. Facebook would not accept my last name of Warlock, which is why we had to go under the name of Lance and with the letter N, Leon. Instead of everything is Warlock and Bradford, except Facebook is Lance and Leon.
Huh.
Couldn't tell you.
We'll cut her right here.
Whoops.
We got it. We got it.